Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe Mode, and this, which is going to be our finale of the Ring of Honor DDT4 Tag Team Tournament. So let's have a quick look at the card I've got set for you this evening. We're going to start things off with Michael Elgin and Brian Cage representing the House of Truth. They're going to be accompanied to the ring by Roderick Strong, and they will take on South African Pride, Justin Gabreil and Angleico. Christopher Daniels and Kazerian, the Addiction, will defend their Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships in the semi-final against the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions Solomon Crowe and Drake Younger. We're going to see Austin Aries take on Alberto Del Rio. Roderick Strong will face off against Mike Bennett in an Extreme Rules match. We're going to see Davey Richards defend his Ring of Honor Television Championship against Adam Cole. Then, of course, we'll see the final of our DDT4 tournament. And our main event this evening will be Samoa Joe defending his Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship against Daniel Bryan. So without further ado, let's get straight into our first semi-final of the evening. And here we go with our opening match of the evening. And as you see, it's the Unbreakable Machines, Michael Elgin in the ring and Brian Cage on the apron with Roderick Strong there you see on the outside. And they're taking on South African Pride. You've got Justin Gabreil in the ring and his teammate Angleico out on the apron. There's an early submission hold locked in there by Elgin, but Gabreil fights his way out. And just give you a quick update of how they got here. The Unbreakable Machines defeated the CNC Wrestle Factory, Cedric Alexander, Caprice Coleman on night number 1. And on night number 3 yesterday night, in the second round, they defeated Kingdom to make their way here. And of course, South African Pride have had a fantastic way to get here. They defeated the former Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions on night number 1, the Young Bucks. And on night number 3 yesterday, they defeated the current Global Force Wrestling Tag Team Champions, the Killer Elite Squad. And I think no matter what happens here this evening or this weekend, I think the South African Pride have guaranteed themselves a shot at the Killer Elite Squad's Tag Team Championships in the very near future. Of course, they will be involved in the Junior Heavyweight Tag competition as well. Justin Gabreil now has Elgin up and drops him in that beautiful vertical suplex. And remember, the winner of this match will go through to the final later on this evening and get a guaranteed championship match for the Ring of Honor titles. Ring of Honor Tag Team titles, should I say. Against the winners of the next match, which is the Addiction, Kazerian and Daniels, and the current Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Champions, Sami Callihan, aka Solomon Crowe, and Drake Younger. Now, South African Pride have been one of these sort of teams in my universe mode, a bit like Santino and Bo Dallas were very early on. For some reason, they just keep winning every single match, and I can't figure out why. It's a bit the same with Drake and Sami. Drake can beat anybody at the moment. I don't know why, but it just seems to be anybody that Drake wants to beat, he does. And I think that's the way the momentum builds up and down this universe mode. When the superstars start to build momentum, they become almost unbeatable. And that's what the likes of Brian Cage and Michael Elgin are going to be hoping to do here. A great little bit of teamwork there. Brian Cage throws Angleico towards the corner of Elgin, and Elgin drops the top rope down. But Angleico's doing a bit of a job on Elgin on the outside, and now Brian Cage comes outside and finding the numbers game, get the best of Angleico as Elgin throws him straight back into the ring. Angleico now going back for Michael Elgin, but taking his eye off Brian Cage was enough for Brian Cage to hit that springboard moonsault crossbody and then that springboard splash as well. And out of these two guys, you weren't expecting it to be Brian Cage hitting all the springboards. We know it's in his arsenal, but it's the main part of Angleico's arsenal. As my chair's just squeaking against the table, ignore that. And this has been a very good sort of 4 days, this pay-per-view, and I've enjoyed making it, as much as it's been a very, very long process to do these extra pay-per-views. Well, saying that, if I thought it was a long process doing these pay-per-views, it's going to be even worse week after next. No, this week, obviously, next Sunday we have the Attitude Era's Judgment Day. And I think we're also going to have the Queen of the Ring for WWE as well. So be sure to check that one out. And the week after, we will have the Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax. Maybe that won't be as long because there will be singles matches rather than tag matches. The tag matches do generally take longer to do. But that will be a 7-day pay-per-view. Which is going to be incredibly hectic for me to do all the extra recordings. But no pain without gain, eh? And then, of course, when 2K16 comes out, we're going to upload as much footage as possible over that first weekend. And then probably a week or two after the game comes out, we'll start to do our proper Universe mode. We might have a little bit of a play with Universe mode within the first weekend, just maybe do a month and see how it all plans out, how it works, and bits and bobs like that, and if the cutscenes and things like that are better. But then we'll start doing our proper Universe mode probably a couple of weeks in, just when I've had enough time to start to download some of the arenas and logos and the creator wrestlers we need to go forward and do it. As Justin Gabreil with a quick roll up here on Elgin. Only a 1 count, but Roderick Strong's up on the apron. As Michael Elgin just spins Gabreil around and twists that ankle. Didn't quite have enough of the ankle lock, but a lot of pain inflicted into Gabreil. Either way, there's a trip there by Michael Elgin. But he gets a kick in the face from Gabreil to combat that. Angleico comes straight across the ring and takes Michael Elgin off the apron. Obviously still not forgot about the earlier part of this match where Elgin tried to attack Angleico on the outside. And Angelico's come back into the ring with an incredible head of steam up here. Locks in the camel clutch again. Roderick Strong's up on the apron, but the submission was broken due to it being a rope break. Angleico with a boot to the stomach of Cage, and now looked like he was going to go again for the camel clutch, but Cage rolls through, back up to his feet, and tried to go for the tag to Elgin, but Angleico caught him from behind, and Cage managed to reverse. Angleico just launching Cage over the top rope. Cage holds on, but Angleico drop kicks him off to the hard ground below, and now tags Justin Gabreil. Brian Cage is back in the ring and Gabreil behind him. Cage with a belly-to-belly suplex. Now again over the top. What's he going for here? He catches him with that. It's almost like a springboard crossbody. And the weight of Cage going to do more damage. And Cage has Gabreil up in a powerbomb. Oh, he holds on and brings him back up for a second. And again, back up for a third powerbomb. Triple powerbomb by Brian Cage. Gabreil looks down and out. And that was it. Brian Cage's triple powerbomb was enough. And Angleico could not get in the ring quick enough to get across to break the pin. And a great move there by Brian Cage, using his strength and his power to hit that triple powerbomb on Justin Gabreil. Elgin does enough to stop Angleico getting across. And what a great victory here for the Unbreakable Machines, and quite a quick victory as well, which is going to help them later on in that final match here this evening. Not sure if we'll see Roderick Strong again here in the finals this evening. Of course, Strong will be involved in an Extreme Rules match against his rival Mike Bennett later this evening. Maybe we might even see Jay Lethal alongside the Unbreakable Machines later on. But South African Pride have really done well this week. They may have been defeated easily here this evening, but they've got a lot to take away from this tournament. They've done incredibly well, defeated the Global Force Wrestling Tag Champs and the former Tag Team Champions. So I'm sure they'll be looking to get themselves a Tag Team title shot over in Global Force Wrestling pretty soon. But the strength and size of the Unbreakable Machines was just too much for the South African Pride here this evening. And here we go with our second semi-final of the evening. Of course, the Addiction have had a great weekend here so far. They defeated the Briscoe brothers on night number 2 in the first round to not only progress, but they took the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships with them. And last night they successfully defended them in the second round against the American Wolves, Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards. And now they have an opportunity here in the semi-finals to defend them against Solomon Crowe and Sami Callihan. Should they win this, they'll go on to face the Unbreakable Machines later on this evening. And the winner of that match will walk out with the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. Of course, as I mentioned, did I mention it? I can't remember if I mentioned it or not. But Drake Younger is currently the most in-form guy in this universe mode. He has won absolutely everything. And to tell the truth, it's annoying me a bit now. So it was great to start off with. Drake won the Global Force Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors tournament. Then he went on at the Combat Zone Wrestling Best of the Best Weekender to win the Tag Team Championships on night number 1. And then on night number 2, he defeated Kenny Omega for the Global Force Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Championship. He then went on to defend that championship again the night after, again against Kenny Omega, in a match which he won again. I think he's even defended the belt against, I think it might have been Johnny Gargano over in Global Force Wrestling, and won that match. So he really has been a fighting champion. I'm pretty sure the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Championships will be defended again pretty soon. We've seen the likes of the Nasty Boys and the new team of Tajiri and Super Crazy really pick up some momentum over the last couple of weeks. So I think they'll be getting an opportunity against this team of Drake Younger and Sami Callihan, which is a strange team to put together. And it was only a random match against the Best of the Super Juniors tournament that brought this team together. Because, of course, Sami Callihan and Drake Younger were feuding in the very first month of this Combat Zone Wrestling Universe mode. From that, they developed a great rivalry, but I think a lot of respect for each other as well. And during the Best of the Super Juniors weekend, I say weekend, it was a week. During the Best of the Super Juniors week, we did Team Combat Zone Wrestling versus Team Ring of Honor. And I think Drake Younger and Sami Callihan defeated, I think, the team of Davey Richards and Adam Cole, which was really against the run of play to what I thought was going to happen. And of course, we will see Davey Richards take on Adam Cole later on this evening as Davey defends his newly won Ring of Honor Television Championship. Of course, he won that on night number 1 in the Elimination Chamber match from Jay Lethal. Now, Adam Cole defeated Jay Lethal last night in a number 1 contenders match to get the opportunity to face Davey Richards here this evening. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. That will be our, I think that's our 5th match of the evening. And then after that, we'll have the DDT4 final. And then, of course, our main event, Samoa Joe defends his Ring of Honor Championship for the 2nd time this weekend as he faces off against Daniel Bryan. Drake now throwing Kazerian into the corner and follows it up with that knee to the stomach, and now lining Kazerian up here. And there's the boot straight across the face by Drake. A boot to the stomach and then a big kick to the chest, knocking Kazerian down. Drop kick there by Drake Younger. Kazerian struggling here. And again, you see the momentum of Drake is just doing him incredibly well in that match. And as I say that, Kazerian catches him with that neck breaker. And now some elbow drops as well. And Kazerian's not letting off on these elbow drops. That's a 5th one there. And a 6th. 7, 8, 9. And a big 10th elbow drop to Drake Younger by Kazerian. But Drake's doing well to get back up to his feet. Kazerian throws Drake into the corner and locks him into the Tree of Woe. But Drake does well to skin the cat, get himself back, and catches the great crossbody off the top rope. And he has Kazerian up on his shoulders. And there's that Michinoku driver that's won him a lot of matches of recent. Going for the pin. He does. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Daniels didn't come in the ring to even break it. He must have been quite happy that Kazerian was going to get out of that one. Drake throwing Kazerian over the top rope. And Drake just looks unbeatable here. And he has Kazerian. Hooks him into a DDT and it's on the apron. We've seen that in the last round as well. Drake really showing his Caesar W roots. And now Kazerian started fighting off against Solomon Crow here. And just as Kazerian was looking like he might be going for a leg drop on the apron, Drake crept up behind Kazerian. And there's the big spine buster on the outside by Kazerian. Now Daniels is out here as well. Looks like Daniels is just trying to get these two back in the ring. Not quite sure what would happen if this match is a draw. This ended up in a double count out. I'm not quite sure what would happen, but Drake's back in the ring and Kazerian slides back in as well and catches Drake from beside, well, almost from behind while Drake was taunting the crowd. And I'm not sure it'd be good for Drake's health if he wins this match. He's already having to carry 2 championship belts around everywhere. A third one might just be too much for him as Kazerian makes the tag into Christopher Daniels on the hot tag, which he misses. Dear 2K, please fix the hot tag situation. Yours sincerely, Shabby Gamer. There's the knee to the inside of the arm of Drake Younger. Drake finally brings Sami Callihan back into the ring and if Callihan catches Christopher Daniels with that reverse enziguri, brings Daniels back up to his feet and Callihan will be looking to try and pick up a good performance in this one because I know a lot of people have been sort of saying that Drake Younger is the guy that's on the hot form and maybe Sami may even think that might be the reason why they've won the Tag Team Championships. He's trying to prove here that he is just as valuable as a team member as Drake Younger. It was a fantastic win for those two at the Best of Best pay-per-view against the Dudleys as Kazerian breaks the pin so close to a free count and there's the hip toss by Crow, who's not been announced as a member of the 2K16 roster. And there are a few glaring omissions that we've all seen. And I will talk about it further on, but I will just bring up, I did see on a news article yesterday that 2K have confirmed that not only will the 4 horsewomen, Sasha, Charlotte, Becky and Bayley not be on the roster, but all 4 of them will not be downloadable content either. And I have some very strong feelings on that, and I will make them clear in later videos. I think I'll probably get onto it a lot more during the Queen of the Ring pay-per-view we will do next week as an extra special one. But that to me is an absolute joke. It really is, because well, for one thing, you've got Eva Marie on the game, who's wrestled 1 match. Well, I think she's wrestled two televised matches now in her entire career, yet she makes it onto the game, and the others don't. And I don't know how long has it been since either Sasha, Becky, or Sasha, Becky or Charlotte, how long has it been since one of those hasn't been the NXT Women's Champion? That's the thing that gets me. So when the game starts and the championships have already been allocated to whoever, who's going to be holding the NXT Women's Championship? It makes no sense. And Kazerian again saved by his teammate Daniels. And now Kazerian fighting his way out. Springboard knee drop. Misses Crow but manages to roll through it. And there's that big flatliner by Kazerian. Drake's not on the apron where he should be. 1, 2... But he was there quickly enough to break it. And yeah, as I mentioned, I will talk a bit more about the my opinions on the roster as we go on. But I'm not very happy at the moment. I will make that clear. Elbow drop to the back by Drake Younger. Rolls Kazerian over, in for the pin. 1, 2, and Daniels is there again to break it. And Kazerian really needs to tag himself out of this match. He's really struggling here. And it's not going to be long before he's pinned and this match is finished. Drake with the... looks like a full Nelson Slam there. Not a very good one, but a full Nelson Slam nonetheless. Goes to the pin. 1, 2, and again Daniels is in to break it up. And now submission hold locked in by Drake. And again Daniels is there to break it. And at this rate, it's only a matter of time before Drake and Sami pick up the victory. backdrop there by Kazerian. He has to bring Daniels back into this match, surely. Went for the knee again, misses but rolls through. Oh, a huge clothesline, taking Drake out of his boots there. Drake went for a clothesline, didn't get all of it, and Kazerian catches him with that spinning heel kick. And now just dropping his entire body weight on the inside of the arm of Drake. And there's a neck breaker by Drake as well. And Drake going for the pin, but his feet are up on the ropes. 1, 2. And again, Daniels is there to break it. And Drake going for a dirty pin there. And there's another quick roll-up. 1, 2, 3. And that's enough. Drake with a quick roll-up on Kazerian. And Drake Younger and Sami Callihan have won this match. They're going through to the finals. And they have picked up the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships in the process. Very, very interesting match here. And we've seen the Tag Team Championships now change hands for the second time this week. Another big victory here for Callihan and Drake Younger. Drake tried to get the cheating victory there, and as you see, then Daniels turned his back for just 1 second, and there was the freak out from the quick roll up. And Drake Younger and Sami Callihan are going on to the final this evening, and they will have to defend their newly won Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships against the Unbreakable effing Machines, who will be representing, of course, the new House of Truth faction. But that is later on for tonight, and we still have another 4 cracking matches coming up for you, including 2 title matches as well. So be sure to keep tuned for that. And here we go, match number 3 of the evening as Austin Aries takes on Alberto Del Rio, or Alberto El Patron. And here we go, Del Rio versus Aries. And Del Rio has had a difficult weekend so far. He had an opportunity at Samoa Joe's World Heavyweight Championship on night number 2. Unfortunately was unsuccessful. And he'll be hoping to try and rebuild some of his momentum this evening. Of course, he did beat Kyle O'Reilly on night number 1, so it's not been a terrible weekend for him, but I think if he had the choice, he would have rather beat Samoa Joe for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. And as I said, this is a great chance in this evening against Austin Aries to build up some more momentum and really get himself back into that title picture. Of course, I think this may be... We'll have one more... I've sort of decided now that our Universe mode for this year, for 2K15, every company will end on a pay-per-view. So, yeah, we will have at least one pay-per-view for each. I'll sort of tell you when it is coming up to the last one. Of course, we do have another 5 or so weeks before 2K16 comes out. What's the date now? It is... I'm recording this on the 20th of September, which is the Sunday. It's supposed to be uploaded. I'm a little bit late on this one. So, yes, the new game comes out in about 40-odd days. So, I say we'll probably get another... We'll get another 2 pay-per-views out of most companies, and maybe 1 out of the likes of Global Force and Ring of Honor, all that sort of stuff. We're not going to have any more sort of gimmick ones at the end. Our last pay-per-views will be one night, one full night. Of course, we're going to have the Global Force Wrestling G1 Climax Festival, and then after that we'll have one big finale sort of pay-per-view when we get close to 2K16, and we want to start uploading the 2K16 footage as soon as possible. I've also decided, I've said it before in a couple of my videos, that we are going to start our Universe mode next year with Gold Rush tournaments, I think they're called on this game. So essentially, we're not just going to hand belts to people willy-nilly before the Universe mode starts like I have on this one. On this one, everyone will have to earn the championship. It's going to have a tournament for every single belt that is in that Universe mode. We're not just going to hand it to anybody. So they will be uploaded. They'll be the first things uploaded. Quick crucifix bomb there by Austin Aries. I'm not sure I'll upload an introduction video to the Universe mode at this time, because I'm going to start recording the Universe mode before I've got all my wrestlers downloaded. So, yeah. going to be tricky. As long as I've got 20 odd guys on each roster, I can start recording. And then over the next couple of weeks, I can just keep getting the guys. Because I think there's a limit of 10 downloads a day. So got to try and get as many guys downloaded as possible. Yeah, we will have an introduction at some point, but we will be uploading all of the tournaments first, and we're gonna have a lot more championships, I think, next year, especially with Attitude Era. I've planned in to bring back the Hardcore Championship and the Cruiserweight Championship. Gonna have the European Championship, Intercontinental Championship, and we're not just gonna have one World Championship. We're gonna have two. We're gonna have the WWE Championship and the World Heavyweight Championship in Attitude Era as well. There's gonna be that many guys in there that I think it'd be great to have both feuds going on at the same time. So that's really going to be a big roster for us next year, Attitude Era. And we have got some great names that the game's given us for it. And of course, we'll be downloading our own as well. Going to strengthen the tag team division here as Del Rio goes for a pin, only for a 1 count. We're going to strengthen our tag team division, Attitude Era, by bringing in, of course, as I'll hold that fort as Aries has Del Rio up. And there's the Brainbuster. And Aries tried to prick Del Rio back up. I don't know why. He probably should have gone for the pin straight away there. And now locks in the submission hold there on Del Rio. And is that going to be enough? No, Del Rio fights his way out with the elbow to the side of the head of Austin Aries. And as I was saying, yeah, I'm going to have going to strengthen our Attitude Era. Attitude Era is the biggest roster. We're going to have the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys. Of course, Edge and Kristen are on the game already. Going to have the New Age Outlaws, Billy Gunn and Road Dogg. Who else have we got on there? Going to try and bring back the Radicals as well. Paul London and Brian Kendrick as a team. RVD and Sabu as a team. There is a lot on there we can do. I'm still not sure what to do, and you guys can let me know. Of course, we're going to get 3 Mick Foleys. We're going to get a Mankind, a Cactus Jack, and a Dude Love. So I have put on my universe mode, I put Dude Love into Retro roster. And at the moment, I've got Mankind and Cactus Jack both in the Attitude Era. And that's struggling me a little bit. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I don't know whether just to leave Mankind in the Attitude Era. And then maybe we can use Cactus Jack as like a bit part player in the current day roster. Just a bit like we probably use the likes of The Rock and Chris Jericho in the current day roster. I'll just bring them back for a feud for the bigger pay-per-views. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. See if there's anywhere where you can sort of feel that Cactus Jack or Mankind could fit a little bit better. I have got planned for next year. We're going to have WWE, which of course is going to be the current day roster. I've got NXT, using all the new NXT guys as Austin Aries going for the pin again, only for a 2. So we've got NXT. We're going to use all the NXT guys and a few of the guys from the main roster that I feel work quite well in NXT. We're going to have the Attitude Era, the Retro roster. Going to, of course, have Ring of Honor as well. As Ring of Honor, I know, is a lot of people's favourites in this universe mode. And then we're going to have Global Force Wrestling. Global Force, essentially, is just going to be everybody else in the world. We're going to have Mexican wrestlers, Japanese wrestlers, British wrestlers, and a few of the Americans that don't quite fit into Ring of Honor. So yeah, I'm just unsure where to put Cactus Jack or Mankind. Maybe I could just have one as maybe I could have one as sort of like an inactive one and just keep swapping them. Just have Mankind change to Cactus Jack, and again Aries has Del Rio up for the Brainbuster, and surely the second Brainbuster is going to be enough here for Austin Aries to pick up the victory, and it is. Well done to Austin Aries, and this bad form for Del Rio continues here. There was a reversed powerbomb there by Austin Aries into that facebuster. Going for a pin, but only for a 2 count. And this is the second of the Brainbuster. Slight rotation there was enough to make sure that Del Rio was perfectly positioned for the pinfall straight after. And there's a great victory there for Austin Aries. And Del Rio was hoping to get himself back into the title picture. Maybe Austin Aries has put himself into the title picture here with that big victory over Del Rio. Well done to that man there, Austin Aries. We've not seen him a lot this week. He was part of the Elimination Chamber match on night number 1. But apart from that, this is the only other time we've seen him, and he's come up with a big victory against Alberto El Patron. And match number 4 here this evening, we'll see Roderick Strong take on Mike Bennett in an Extreme Rules match. And here we go. These two guys have been going at it now for the past few months, actually. Ever since the last pay-per-view, which was the... what was it? What was the last pay-per-view? Was it the Global Force Wrestling versus... I think it was, you know. This is only our 3rd Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Yeah, it was the Global Force versus Ring of Honor Weekender. And it was there that Roderick Strong was extradited from the Kingdom faction, replaced by Matt Taven. And that weekend, we also saw Mike Bennett defend his Ring of Honor Television Championship in a fatal 4-way Iron Man match against Roderick Strong, Jay Lethal, and Austin Aries. We came to the end of the 15 minutes, and Mike Bennett and Austin Aries were both on 6 pinfalls each. Of course, if the match ended in a draw, then Mike Bennett would have kept his championship. However, with about 15-20 seconds left, Austin Aries went for a pinfall on Jay Lethal, and Roderick Strong was up and about, and he could have broke the pinfall, but he didn't. He stood there and he watched Austin Aries get the 7th pin, and Austin Aries won that Ring of Honor Television Championship and walked away. And Mike Bennett was unhappy. He knew that if Roderick Strong had broken that pin, then he would have kept his Ring of Honor Television Championship. And then from that, over the past couple of months, we've seen this feud develop stronger and stronger, from former friends to just sheer hatred between these two. And it all culminates here this evening in this Extreme Rules match, as Mike Bennett's on the outside under the ring looking for some weaponry, and he's got himself a chair, but Strong slides back into the ring away from him. Bennett slides back in the ring with the chair, and Strong takes the chair off of Bennett and hits him clear between the eyes with that chair, and then straight across the kneecap as well, and then again in the face, and then against the legs. Roderick Strong picking up a great early advantage here, just beating the hell out of Mike Bennett with that chair. Spinning back fist by Roderick Strong, and at this rate, I don't think Bennett's going to last too long in this match. Roderick Strong on the outside, and Bennett catches him, and there's the backdrop. Bennett brings Strong back up to his feet, and there's a knee across the stomach. And a big elbow across the face as well by Mike Bennett. Bennett now were just laying the strikes into Roderick Strong. We should see Strong earlier in the evening ringside helping the Unbreakable Machines defeat the South African Pride. I dare say we're not going to see him later on this evening after this match. However, I'd imagine that someone like Jay Lethal might step into the place and support his House of Pain team members in this big matchup later on. So a chop across the chest and a big boot to the side of the head of Mike Bennett. And Roderick Strong slides back into the ring. But Bennett catches him as soon as he comes in. Strong though with a big knee to the stomach, and then the tilt-a-whirl neckbreaker. Strong slides out. What's he going for here? He's just walking around the ring. Bennett came out to join him, and Bennett avoided Strong's running forearm and catches him with a neckbreaker of his own. Brings Strong back up to his feet, and now throws him straight back into the ring. Bennett's underneath the ring looking for some more weaponry. Brings a ladder into the mix. Oh, my bloody phone. Sorry, I'm a bit annoyed there. I've got the Grand Prix on record. My phone's just buzzed and told me who won it, which is really annoying. But either way, Roderick Strong has a chair in the ring. There's a ladder in the ring as well. Mike Bennett's under the ring looking for some weaponry himself. He's got himself a trash can. And Roderick Strong's under the ring. And I don't think he sees Bennett come around behind him. And Roderick Strong stands up with his baseball bat. And just as he stands up, he catches the trash can to the back of the head. What's Bennett going for here? Oh, it's a gutbuster. Beautiful move there. I thought he was going to sort of backdrop Strong onto that trash can. Strong catches Bennett now with that enziguri. Throws Bennett back towards the ring, but Bennett trips over the trash can. These two guys still fighting on the outside, and Strong still trying to throw Bennett back into the ring, but he keeps bouncing off the apron. Some more glitches in this game. I'm sure there's more glitches now than there was when this game first came out. I'm sure there is. Neck breaker on the outside by Bennett. I think a lot of the glitches and the crashes and the problems that I generally have are when we're using created wrestlers. And it's a problem. But I can't see why the problem arises. I really can't. I'm not going to say I'm an expert at writing computer games, but there you go. There's the gutbuster there by Roderick Strong, and it's a great and impactful move, but used on the outside of the ring is not the wisest move in the world. And there it is again. Why are they not going back into the bloody ring for? Bennett's got the ring steps and puts the ring steps back down. And now Roderick Strong can't even get himself back in the ring. Bennett chops away at Strong's ankle. Roderick Strong went into the ring there looking for some more weaponry, but Mike Bennett was there and just took him straight out. Now what's Bennett going for here? Oh, it's a neck breaker onto the trash can. The trash can, you see, completely crushed and moving for some reason. It's twitching. What is the trash can twitching for? That's really strange. Roderick Strong just smashing the head of Bennett against the announce table. And now Bennett throws Roderick Strong back into the ring. And an elbow across the face. Mike Bennett slides back into the ring as well. But straight up onto Roderick Strong's shoulders. And there's the gutbuster. And I think Strong might have this here. 1, 2, and 3. Roderick Strong out of nowhere. Mike Bennett slides into the ring and straight up onto Strong's shoulders. Into the gutbuster. And Roderick Strong is victorious here in this long-term feud against Mike Bennett. There was a knee to the stomach by Roderick Strong. You see, as soon as Bennett slid back into the ring, Strong just catches him up on his shoulders and hits that big gutbuster. And there's the ref down for the 3 count. Well done here to Roderick Strong. A bit of a... I've forgotten the word I'm looking for. Bit of a consolation, that'll do, from being thrown out of the Kingdom formation 2 months ago. He's cost Mike Bennett his championship. And now, after a long-term feud, Roderick Strong proves he's the better man in this Extreme Rules match. But is this the last we've seen of these two in the ring? I'd be surprised. And now we're going to match number 5 of the evening. Davey Richards defends his newly crowned Ring of Honor Television Championship against Adam Cole. The following contest is scheduled for 1 fall, and it is for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. And here we go. Davey Richards defends his Ring of Honor Championship, Ring of Honor Television Championship, let's say, for the very first time. Of course, he won the belt on night number 1 in the Elimination Chamber match. It's been a very busy weekend for Davey Richards. Thinking about it. Because he's wrestled on all 4 nights. Just double check. He has wrestled on all 4 nights. He wrestled night number 1 in that Elimination Chamber match. He wrestled night number 2 in a first round match in DDT4. Night number 3 in the second round of the DDT4. And of course this evening he's wrestling in this Television Championship match. So Davey Richards has really had a lot of exposure this weekend. Here in the Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Of course we are using the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Arena just to give them a little bit of a shout out. Of course the DDT4 is a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla format, so I'm just borrowing that, shall we say, in inverted commas, which I'm actually doing. You can't see me anyway, so not much point in doing that, but we are borrowing that format. So yeah, using this arena is just a way to give them a little bit of a shout out. Of course, Ring of Honor in my universe mode is supposed to be more of a sort of shout out to indie wrestling in a whole. So we are using... we will be next year, because next year I'll get a lot more of the universe mode done. I think we'll get at least a full year done next year in the universe mode. We'll definitely reach WrestleMania and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll be using a lot of other indie sort of formats. The Battle of Los Angeles is one of my favourites as well. We'll have King of the Trios, the Shikara 6-man tag competition. We'll do that as well. And of course, if you guys have any suggestions of any other sort of events you'd like to see in next year's universe mode, let me know. I'm in the process of planning everything out, so I will take a note of them all down and try and get them all uploaded for you. Dave Richards slamming the arm of Adam Cole into the mat, and I really have got a hell of a lot of guys planned in for next year's game, and it's it'd be interesting to see what the downloadable content is going to be. Of course, as I mentioned in a couple of matches ago, we're not going to have any of the Divas Revolution, which is fine. The just going back to this now quickly, 2K's excuse was that obviously the Divas Revolution wasn't happening when they started scanning the wrestlers, which is fair enough. That's absolutely true. However, since they've involved quite a large NXT roster into the game, I can't see why they've not involved any NXT women. That's the thing that's confusing me, because obviously when the game comes out, normally they have the championships already allocated to somebody, and I can imagine the NXT championship's going to be allocated to somebody like Sami Zayn, probably, who held the belt after defeating Neville. But at that point, who is they going to have allocated to the NXT Women's Championship? Because the only NXT women they've given us, or the only NXT sort of only woman they've given us is Eva Marie, who's, as we know, absolutely dire. There's the flip power drive by Adam Cole, and we could have a new Ring of Honor Television Champion here for the second time this week. Adam Cole with a pin, one. No, only a 1 count. Davey Richards kicks out. Yeah, as I was saying, we've only got Eva Marie as the only woman who is... wholly in NXT, I suppose. We've also got Emma, and that's really it. Those are the only 2 girls that are really permanently on NXT. Well, not permanently, but the only girls that are normally on NXT. I'm going to drop in the likes of Natalya, Summer Rae, and Paige just to build up the female roster a little bit. And of course, we will be downloading Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha Banks, and of course Becky Lynch as well. Just a bit of a shame, because that was 4 that I was hoping not to have to download. That's going to take up 4 creator wrestler spots that could have gone elsewhere if 2K had pulled their finger out. But it just seems odd to me how they'd give us all of these NXT male superstars and then they completely ignore the female side of NXT. I think it's a bit of a slip up there as Davey Richards locks in the abdominal stretch on Adam Cole. Could this be all? No, Adam Cole fights his way out there with a hip toss. Adam Cole pulling Davey into the middle of the ring, and Davey's back up to his feet. And Adam Cole again with that flip power driver, and surely the second one will be enough to finish this match off. And again, I'd like to see 2K implement something where the guys would... Adam Cole with a pin, only a 2 count. That's the problem I'm about to bring up here. I'd like to see a bit more AI where the game lets guys actually bring people into an area in the ring where they know they can pin straight after finisher, but that's enough. Adam Cole locked in the front, choke, submission hold, and Davey Richards taps out, and we have a brand new Ring of Honor Television Champion here for you in Adam Cole. Davey Richards has held that belt for exactly 3 days. And this match went several ways this evening. It's great to see Adam Cole pick up his first championship here in the universe mode. He's really one of my favourite indie wrestlers, and I'm surprised he he hasn't held this belt earlier on, or any belt earlier on. But there's the front chokehold on Davey Richards, the front guillotine. And Davey had to tap out. He was nowhere near any of the ropes. And we have a brand new Ring of Honor Television Champion here for you this evening. So we've seen 2 championship matches so far. We've seen the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships and now the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Both change hands. And of course we will see the Tag Team Championships again in our next match, as newly crowned Drake and Sami Callihan have to defend them against the Unbreakable Machines. And then after that, of course, we have the big one. We have Samoa Joe defending his Ring of Honor Championship against Daniel Bryan. And here we go with our DDT4 final. Drake Younger and Sami Callihan, who won the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships earlier in the evening, will now defend against Brian Cage and Michael Elgin, the Unbreakable Machines. The winner of this match will be crowned the DDT4 champions and the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Of course, at the bottom of the screen here, you can't quite see him at the moment. We do have Jay Lethal out here at ringside. There he is, top of his head there. He is supporting his new stablemates here, Brian Cage and Michael Elgin, part of the House of Truth formation. We did see Roderick Strong out here earlier, but after his match against Mike Bennett, he wasn't quite at a level where he thought he could come out here and really help influence this match. So Jay Lethal steps in. And Brian Cage and Michael Elgin looking in good form so far this week. They defeated CNC Wrestle Factory, Caprice Coleman and Cedric Alexander on night number 1. On night number 3, they defeated Kingdom. And then obviously earlier this evening they defeated the South African Pride to make their way here to the finals. Drake and Sami, they defeated... So I'm trying to find my paperwork on my desk. They defeated Red Dragon. No, they didn't. They defeated Phoenix and Pentagon on night number 1. Debuting Phoenix, that was. On night number 2, they defeated Red Dragon. And then earlier this evening, they defeated The Addiction, Christopher Daniels and Kazerian, to take those Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships and make their way here to the finals. Brian Cage is suplexing Sami Callihan or / Solomon Crow into the ring. And both teams make a tag. In comes Drake Younger and Michael Elgin. Great team is the Unbreakable Machines. When you look at it, Michael Elgin is the former Global Force Wrestling champion. And of course, Brian Cage is the current Global Force Wrestling Intercontinental champion. So both of these guys are very, very strong. But Sami Callihan catches Elgin from behind, holding him back and allowing Drake to catch Elgin with the knee. Of course, both Elgin and Cage will be involved in the G1 Climax Festival in a couple of weeks' time. It will kick off not tomorrow, but the Monday after, in theory. I'm away all this weekend, so hopefully I'll have enough time to record some episodes before then. Because these extra episodes do take a long time. The last day isn't too bad because I can run it through the universe mode, but of course the earlier days I have to do everything through exhibition matches, so it takes a little bit longer. Mainly I have to do it for exhibition matches, then cut it all together to make it look like a coherent show for you guys. Boot to the stomach there by Drake Younger, comes across and brings Solomon Crow into the ring. Elgin's back up to his feet and Crow comes in with the strikes. Elgin avoids the dropkick and then catches Sami with the double elbows to the back and brings Brian Cage back into the match. And Cage has been the one that I think has been on rock solid form so far this week. He defeated... he got the victory earlier on this evening over Angleico. And Drake Younger bringing himself into the ring. Solomon Crow doesn't look too happy with that tag. But Drake had Brian Cage up on his shoulders, and I think Solomon may have even pulled Brian Cage back down there. And Brian Cage is back up with the German suplex. And a bit of miscommunication here between Drake and Sami. And as I said, it's a fairly new team. They are the current Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions, but a fairly new team together. Of course, they were enemies very early on in this universe mode. They did feud for the first month or so. And since then, well, since a couple of, it's been about a month ago now, they teamed together as part of the Global Force Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors tournament. And since then, they've teamed very well together, winning the Combat Zone Wrestling Tag Team Champions from the Dudley Boys at the tournament, at the Best of the Best tournament last week. Was it last week? The week before? Week before, I think it was. Bryan Cage doing great, twisting the arm there. Now has Drake up and catches him with that suplex. And I've not seen anyone dominate Drake in this universe mode for a long time. Not as much as Bryan Cage is doing anyway. As I say, Drake's been an absolute hot form, and now in comes Michael Elgin and Solomon Crowe at the same time. And Michael Elgin straight across and catches Crowe with that belly-to-belly suplex. And now locks in the, it's like a chokehold there. Brings Crowe back up to his feet. Another German suplex. Michael Elgin and Bryan Cage are dominating this match so far. And again, locking in that submission hold as Michael Elgin. Don't think it's as much as a submission that might get Sami to tap out, but it's a submission that's definitely going to wear Sami down. And there's Elgin there with that angle slam style move. We've seen him use that a few times to win these matches. What's Elgin got planned here? He's got Drake up. There's the Elgin bomb. But it's right in front of Drake. One. Only a 1 count. Drake was in quickly and breaks the pin. Bryan Cage was just not 100% on it there. He should have been across the ring and taken Drake Younger off the apron. And now Sami brings Drake into the match. And Elgin catches him straight into almost like an ankle lock, but doesn't quite get enough of it. Does some damage to Drake nonetheless and brings in his partner Bryan Cage. Bryan thrown into the Machine's corner, and Elgin brings himself back in, trying to trick Drake, but I think Drake saw it all. But Elgin locks in an octopus stretch here. Oh, and Cage went to try and take Sami out of the ring, but I think Sami ducked, and Cage actually caught the referee. Then Cage again tried to go for the dive from the top, and Drake moved out of the way, and Cage caught Elgin. We've seen a lot of miscommunication in this match between the two teams, which amazes me in this game. You'd think that the AI would at least be set to make sure these guys actually hit the moves they go for, actually be in the right position to go for them. But either way, Bryan Cage took out the referee. Quick roll up here by Drake Younger. And Black Machismo there. Jay Lethal up on the apron. Referee distracted, and Drake almost had Elgin down for a 3 count there. For some reason, Bryan Cage did not come into the ring to even try and break it. And of course, we saw Roderick Strong earlier this evening actually get thrown out from ringside due to getting involved in the match a bit too much. Jay Lethal hasn't had to as much as Roderick Strong did, though. These two guys lock up again, and Elgin with the front chancery on Drake Young, and I'll get around the back and showing some great collegiate wrestling style there. Going for the pin. 1. Only a 1 count. Sami slid back into the ring. He wasn't quite back into position where he should be. Drake with a bulldog. And Drake and Sami try to build some more momentum here. It's looked very much in the favour of the Unbreakable Machines in this match so far. And again, Elgin locks in the octopus stretch. Elgin's locked in the octopus stretch, and Drake Younger's tapped out. Drake Younger's tapped out to the octopus stretch. And the Unbreakable Machines. The Unbreakable Machines have won this match, and they've won the DDT4 tournament. The House of Truth here have also taken the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. A stunning match here, and that may drop Drake Younger's momentum down a little bit. But like I say, the Unbreakable Machines looked in control of this match since the very beginning, and you see Drake there locked into the octopus stretch. Obviously, Sami didn't think there was enough damage done, didn't make it into the ring to try and break it, and Drake Younger tapped out. So we have again brand new tag team champions. We've seen the belt change hands now once, twice, 3 times this weekend. But it's the Unbreakable Machines that get the last laugh. They are the new Ring of Honor tag team champions and the DDT4 champions. What a great weekend it's been for the House of Pain. Did have a very good, the House of Pain, the House of Truth, sorry, did have a very good debut as a 6-man tag. However, walking away with the tag team championships is more than enough to make this a success for them. And now it's time for our main event here this evening. It's Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it is for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. And here we go with our main event here, not only of the night but of the weekend. Samoa Joe defends his Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship for the 2nd time. Successfully defended it a couple of days ago against Alberto Del Rio. And now here he is facing the man that he's been feuding against for the past month or so now. And this will be a bit more difficult for Samoa Joe because he knows that over the past few weeks Daniel Bryan has managed to pick up a couple of victories, clean victories against him. So this match could really go either way. Both these men know they can beat the other, and it's just going to happen what's on the evening. Great kick to the side of the head there by Joe, and of course Samoa Joe, he won this Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship in the very first pay-per-view, Glory by Honor. That was only episode 2 of Ring of Honor since they had the very first pay-per-view. He won it in a fatal 4-way match against Kevin Owens, who was the champion at the beginning, Sami Zayn, and... oh, that's a good question. Who was the other guy? It was about 6 months ago now I recorded this match, so I'm struggling now. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter either way, but Samoa Joe pinned Sami Zayn and won that championship. Of course, that led to Zayn and Owens feuding for a good couple of months up to the last pay-per-view. We've not seen Zayn since. He really took a hell of a beating in a ladder match we saw at the Global Force vs. Ring of Honor pay-per-view. Obviously, after that, Kevin Owens moved to WWE, and we haven't seen Zayn since. But as I was saying, Samoa Joe's held this belt now for a very long time. Held it for about 5 or so months. And Daniel Bryan will be hoping to be the one to give us a fresh outlook on this universe mode in Ring of Honor. We've seen brand new tag team champions and brand new television championship crowned this evening. Will we see a brand new world champion as well? And if Daniel Bryan continues like this, we will. There's the backdrop on Samoa Joe. We've seen Joe successfully defend that belt against CM Punk and Alberto Del Rio now. No mean feat to defeat those two guys. But can he defeat Daniel Bryan here as well? Different kettle of fish, Daniel Bryan. A lot more technical than some of the others maybe. Knows a lot of submission holds and a lot of strikes as well. And as I'm saying, submission holds there, just wrenching back at the arm of Samoa Joe. Not enough to make Samoa Joe tap, but it's definitely going to weaken that arm for a potential label lock later on in the evening. There's a great reverse enziguri there by Samoa Joe, fighting Daniel Bryan away. I'm not sure my universe mode next year. I've sort of made the conscious effort to try to not use the likes of Daniel Bryan and stuff like that in the Ring of Honor roster. I want to try and make it a bit more current, rather than we've had over the last few months. We've had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, obviously Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. All these guys in Ring of Honor sort of dominating Ring of Honor. So next year we're going to try and make it a bit less of a retro Ring of Honor show. We're going to try and use some of the guys that are in there, of course, likes of AJ Styles, Michael Elgin, The Briscoe brothers, Adam Cole, such Austin Aries. We'll have a few guys in there that that are probably not in there anymore. Of course, the American Wolves. Tommaso Ciampa's left now as well. Going to bring in some guys like Chuck Taylor as well, just to give them a bit more of a varied roster. But we're going to try and keep away from bringing too many of the older guys that will end up dominating the shows. And if you guys have any suggestions of people you'd like to see in Ring of Honor, again, let me know in the comments section below, and I will list them down. As Samoa Joe just launching Daniel Bryan over the top of his head. Bryan was going for some sort of butterfly suplex or a butterfly powerbomb on the outside, and Samoa Joe just launches him over his head, and Bryan goes through the announce table. Now Joe locks in the submission hold on the outside. Joe has a steel chair. This is not an ODQ match, and Joe drops that chair knowing that, well, saying that if Joe gets disqualified, he still holds the belt. But he thought better of it. He doesn't want to win the match that way, or lose the match that way, should we say. Daniel Bryan now back in the ring, trying to work Joe over, but Bryan must be hurting after going through that announce table. But Joe's back on his feet, just stamping on the back of the arm of Samoa Joe. Bringing him back up to his feet again. Has him in the headlock, but Joe fights back, and there's an elbow to the face. Rolls Bryan over in a boot to the centre of the back, and Joe's starting to try and take a bit more control of this match now. There's a big spine buster by Samoa Joe. Just took Daniel Bryan up above his head and slammed him down. Now in for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Joe now throws Bryan into that rope again. Oh, and a great sort of running enziguri there, almost. Stepping up on the knee of Daniel Bryan with the boot to the back of the head. Not quite Shining Dragon. Shining Wizard. And Daniel Bryan this time gets Samoa Joe up in that butterfly suplex. That's what he was going for on the outside of the ring. And now a reverse dragon sleeper hold on Samoa Joe. Just wrenching back at the head and the neck. Can Joe fight his way out? No, Daniel Bryan breaks the hold. Thinks he might have done enough damage here. And oh, Joe's back up to his feet and throws Bryan into that corner. Went for the spear. But Bryan avoided it. And there's a neck breaker there by Samoa Joe. Now again, just elbows to the shoulder. So working that neck and the upper back of Daniel Bryan. Maybe getting ready for his Kaklina clutch again. And there's that front guillotine. This was enough for Adam Cole to win the Ring of Honor Television Championship this evening. Would it be enough for Daniel Bryan here to win the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Championship? No, it's not, as Samoa Joe uses his strength, gets back up to a vertical base and drops Daniel Bryan. Russian leg sweep by Joe. Brings Bryan back up to his feet and now locks in that rear naked chokehold on Daniel Bryan. Is it going to be enough? And Daniel Bryan taps out. Samoa Joe is still your Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. And what a great way for him to cap off this fantastic DDT4 tournament. And there we see that big spine buster by Samoa Joe. In for a pin here. 1, 2. That was only a 2 count though. This was that beautiful butterfly suplex by Daniel Bryan. But this is the rear naked chokehold that finished the whole match off. Bryan couldn't quite reach the ropes and had to tap out eventually to Samoa Joe. And Samoa Joe plows through another great competitor here and retains his Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship once more. And there he is. A little bit worried there. I thought there might be a bit of a crash going on there, but it always takes a bit longer when there's a belt involved. Ladies and gentlemen, Samoa Joe still your Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Well, anyway, guys, that has been the end of this episode and the end of our Ring of Honor's DDT4 tournament weekend. Hope you've all enjoyed it. There's been a lot of action, a lot of title changes, and yeah, a lot of excitement. Of course, you can check out in the description below links to all of the other brands we're currently running in this universe mode. We have Current Day, Global Force Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Retro, Attitude, and Combat Zone Wrestling. If you could like this video, that'd be absolutely fantastic. It does help me a hell of a lot. And of course, subscribing is 10 times better. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.